Alright, so technically this is after we've already gone back and beaten Nazca, but I'm gonna put all 3 of those refights in the same video, so we'll just conveniently ignore that for right now. We're gonna come check our mail.
Chronology bullshit.
Yeah, it's been a while since we've gotten some letters from home. Ah, yes. Your thanks for driving the Empire from the cloud vents, a thing that we have definitely done.
We did that. That was a thing that happened. I like this lady just watching us read our mail and like, uh-huh.
I like, that we get a sales brochure from Mira, even though Mira is literally not in this game.
I mean, it makes sense. You're allowed to allude to stuff that you don't, like, actively explore. Like, I would say it falls into the what do they eat school of world building, but it's like, I'm pretty sure we just found out what they eat. They eat the one town that's literally made of cake.
Geldoblame, we need to address part of this letter before we go deal with this. What does the Dark Service provide to our nation again?
Right, yeah.
I'm gonna need a little elaboration on that part.
Like, professional, nationally owned assassination services. I guess. Like, you know, somebody has to be benefiting from it.
I mean, I guess, technically, now that Baelheit is the Emperor, there is someone actively benefiting from it. They are now the National Forces, but, like, prior to, like, literally yesterday, they were just, like, his private assassin army.
They were just allowed to exist. Like, nah, whatever, this is fine. This seems like a serviceable use of public funds. I'm trying to figure out if that's more or less wild than the things that have been done on that account in actual real life, but... whatever. Well, in any case, I guess they're not doing much of anything anymore. Wait, they're fighting us? Now they're running away from Machine and they just decided to stop and fight us? What?
See, that was my first thought when it happened too, but no, you see, what's happened here is that there has been a Machine uprising.
I mean, that part I pieced together.
So, the Paramachina are now calling the shots, and the lowly humans are being told to either defend the base, or the Machina will kill them.
Well, I mean, I guess that makes sense if we learn it right after this fight, but like, you know, like, maybe it's like actual, like a writing gambit that they're like, hang on, what the fuck is going on here when this fight starts, in which case I can respect it, because that's like writing when you do that kind of thing. Like, I don't know. Maybe you shouldn't have told me that. Maybe even if at this point it's like, it's spoilers and shit, I don't know.
It's in the next room.
I mean, yeah. But even so, man. There's an order to this stuff. But yeah, I did kind of like immediately assume, oh, robot uprising. We accidentally the singularity. These guys are clearly all finding out what happens when you don't support the development of AI. When AI actually happens, it tries to kill you. That's the rules. That's how it was established to work by the allegedly smartest people alive. I am not above making references to Roko's Basilisk in my commentary. But, sorry, I had to clarify that because otherwise, like, people might actually take it seriously.
See, classic mistake. Got a bunch of new chips in from HQ, and as soon as you put them in, robot uprising. SMH.
Sounds suspicious. Like, it kind of hinges on where they're actually going with this. Because, like, there's two versions of this. There's the one where this is just like a weird thing that happened, and it's like miscellaneously dangerous, and we're just putting an end to it because, like, we're here and it's happening. The other one is that this was being, like, done to them by their headquarters, which, for the record, would be perfectly in keeping with previous Dark Brotherhood, Dark Service even, conduct. Like, it just seems like the kind of thing that you would expect to happen in an organization like this.
Well, Baelheit decided that maybe these guys knew a little bit too much about what had gone on prior to him becoming Emperor, and was like, you know what, let's just take care of that loose end.
And, how will we eliminate the Rogue Assassin faction? By a long and involved gambit to start a robot uprising in their building. Seems good. Like, I've been trying to figure out while I've been saying all this which of the scenarios is the more plausible, and like I was gonna say this whole thing with starting a robot uprising seems like the kind of thing that would that Baelheit would do, but also it seems like, I mean, I was gonna say it seems breathtakingly irresponsible, but I don't think that really disqualifies it.
You're not wrong.
This is bound to hurt.
I assume that at some point, somebody, like, probably Quaestor Varys, was like, so what happens after the robots kill the entirety of the Dark Brotherhood? And everyone just kind of awkwardly sat there in silence for a while.
I don't know why they built that AI. I guess they'll die. Oh well. Fighting? How? What's happening?
So this area sucks ass. All of the corridors are extremely cramped. It's really hard to get around without having to fight these assholes. And they're all really easy. Like, this dungeon is just, and I'm using the word dungeon very loosely here, is just pure tedium.
So it's like they just take up time, but they're not, like, interesting or particularly difficult, just time-consuming.
Nope. The human guards now have a technique called Slumber Shot, which does exactly what it sounds like. And the robots have Saber Arm, which does about 700 damage at once, and an attack called, like, I think it's called Rampage, where they hit you, like, 10 times in a row for approximately 700 damage.
Meh.
Also, you can tell that, like, aside from all of, like, the fact that it's just kind of here and that we didn't even get, like, a proper cutscene or anything, we just got told about it by Geldoblame. But, like, you can tell they really didn't give a shit about this side quest because not only does it not have a proper boss, it doesn't have any voice acting whatsoever.
You know, that is kind of notable. Just, like, kind of tacked on for, like... I don't know, is it me, or have we been seeing a weird amount of stuff that feels, like, obligatory on the part of the game in this endgame side quest wrap-up?
Like, I think the Gilo one was reasonably well done.
I mean, yeah, in that it was involved and it had a lead-in and a plot and it tied into stuff, but, like...
Yeah, like, Millie's was very much whatever, and this definitely exists. Like, is a sound effect too much to ask for?
Yeah, like, okay, no voice acting I can say, but, like, you've got, like, stock sound effects. What the...
Also, what the fuck, Gilo?
Well, at least it's canonical, what the fuck.
What part about this girl makes her not a child, Gilo? This is where her dad worked. Why would she not come here?
I mean, on account of the robot uprising, but, you know... I was gonna say, is this more staggering irresponsibility, and I'm really not sure. But I'm starting to think that this might not actually connect to literally anything else, so... maybe trying to think too much about it is a fool's errand. I'm just like... Okay, so they connected literally the very first environment from the beginning of the game back to the end game, which is like, you know, it's something. I guess there was a need to address the existence of the Dark Service in the context of the game, and the seeming non-existence of them later is, and like the fact that their existence should have implications that would be troublesome.
This code is not randomized, by the way, so...
Yeah, we could have simply not.
No. I think you still need the keycards to get the prompt to put it in, but like...
Come on, man. Like, that's nonsense. Either you make it a code and you make it skippable, or you make it like, hey, we need to get the thing, and then you don't actually make the player do it. Like, come on. What's the point of making them actually do it if you're already doing a hard check? Like, come on, man. this is really just an incredible scenario. Is it literally just throwing waves of robots at us? Is that what we're doing here?
It sure is. I can't believe that you don't think the same random encounter 4 times in a row is a good substitute for a boss fight.
I can't believe anyone else thought that. It's like too many people have suffered already. Have they? It's just the Dark Service. None of this has got out. What would even happen if they did get out? Like, is this really just... Are they really just positioning this thing as like an accident that happened? There's a 4th one?
Alright, so you're Soggy, right? You've walked into this whole scenario. You've stopped the self-aware Paramachina from creating more and potentially invading the city. What's your next move?
I would be like, hey, Case Tavares, did you know? Also, you know, like maybe grab one of those chips.
Sensible ideas. But have you considered the option of, fuck this isn't our problem?
I mean, in its own way, that's also a pretty sensible option. Like, this whole thing just has a aura about it of like, man, none of this needed to be here. None of this should have happened. All of this was a terrible idea. At least it's burning itself down.
So yeah, that's it. That was the entire side quest. We came in, we beat up a robot, and now we're gonna go tell Geldoblame's flunky about it, and we're just gonna fuck off and do something else.
It's just it's such a weirdly boring scenario. Like, this whole thing, like, this seems like a thing that should go somewhere, and should come from somewhere, and should, like, fit into stuff. And instead it's just like... I think I've said before, the whole thing has this vibe of just being obligatory on the part of the game, like, somebody decided that there needed to be a bunch of quests here, and people were just like, let's just write whatever. Reason to come back to Dark Service. Okay. They came in and found out that robots, and the robots were uprising because chips. Like what?